Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope well. I always had to do this because I'm old and I don't know how a lot of this stuff, works some of the time. So we're just going to check real quick. And, hmm, that's just a mess. Just leave that alone. Uh, I hope all are well. And there, that works. So there you go. Hold on 1 second here and I will try to adjust this best I can from where I sit. Whatever. That's as good as it's going to be. So we'll just scoot a little back. Whatever. A T. All right, because this is right here. No lies come from here. Take that off. I see there's a couple people out there. Don't know who they are, but that's okay. So we're just going to be talking for a couple of minutes. Usually I'm doing a video or posting a video at this time of night for you guys. And they're out there like they always are. I mean, there's 700 plus videos I've done in the last 3.5 or 4 years. Let's start first with Ross Coulthart. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not 100% sure. I had a guy that used to be a big fan of the show for years, and he disappeared on me, and I don't know where he went. But he had gotten in touch with Ross and had Ross contact me, and we did like an hour-long interview. I don't know if he recorded it or not, but we did like an hour-long video where he asked me a lot of questions about what happens out there and the things that I've seen. I'm sure you all have questions, and if you want to ask, I'll try to answer them. But I answered his questions to the best of my ability, and he didn't like a lot of the answers, so he didn't do anything with it and never called again or never talked to me again. But now he's in with the big wigs, and he's publishing videos of retrievals of UFO crashes, all kinds of such things. I wanted to talk to you guys because they're about this close to telling you a lot of stuff that's not exactly true. The big thing's going to be the mothership that's headed this way that they've already mentioned on the NBC News, and said that the Pentagon has, they've seen it through satellites and through telescopes or whatever, that there's a huge mothership coming in, and it should be here by 2028. And this is very much in line with their, their asteroid stories and their creatures from, like I tell you when I'm outside, Zeta Reticuli, and these aliens who supposedly, put us here. They seeded us here. And that's what they're coming with. That's the story that we're going to get. That's what the show Ancient Aliens has been about for the last, 12, 15 years. I know I watched it. I believed all that stuff, all of it. Because they play it off like, oh, this, they're hiding this from you, and they don't want you to know about. They have all this technology that they've recovered and they've back engineered. No. Read the book of the Enoch, right? Go read a couple of the things that have been removed from this. This book here. This copy's from a long time ago. It actually has a lock on it, right? Locked, right? Only they could read it, and they would tell you what it meant, and you need to know what they tell you, and that's all. Anyway, the fallen ones would trade, technology, like the ability metallurgy, so they could teach mankind how to form weapons out of steel and out of different kinds of metal, and how that worked, and how to make makeup, and how to paint your face to be more attractive as females, how to perform abortions, how to how to genetically splice and make things the way you want it, as in the times of Noah, so it will be the coming of the Son of Man, like now, right? these things are going to pop out, right? They're going to come from wherever out of the sky. They're going to land. They're going to come walking out, right? All kinds of weird looking things that are going to freak you out. I don't know if they're going to go full bore right off the bat, but it's going to eventually be things that, you're going to be like, whoa, this is, oh, wow. Mm-hmm. And again, if you read in Revelation, right? Revelation in here, it's all in here, right? It's all in there. It tells you, lying signs and wonders that we will be, there will be, that he will allow them to perform these lying signs and wonders to fool you, if you can be fooled, right? My king is him. I bend no knee but to him. You want to cut my head off? Go for it, right? You want to shoot me? Go for it, right? You can only kill my body. You cannot have my soul. It belongs to my king, Yeshua. So I'm telling you these things because it's my job. It's our commission. It's our commission to point out evil when we see it. It's our commission to spread the gospel, the good news of our King, right? To share that. You've heard it said from the Beatitudes, you've heard it said that you should hate your enemy, right? No, pray for your enemies, right? I pray for them, those things that fly around out there. I also rebuke them, but I pray for them because they're lost. They're lost in their evil. Yeah. And as far as the military goes, the military people are just being lied to, right? They're being lied to and told these are religious zealots, religious fanatics, and that these are our visitors from wherever the Great Gazoo came from. That's dating myself. That's Flintstone times. Right, the dum-dum? Yeah. So this has been around for a long, long time. They've been planning this for a long, long time. Okay? And right now we're going to talk about a man named Jack Parsons. I'm going to tell you about Jack Parsons, who was the man who started JPL Laboratories. It wasn't Jet Propulsion Laboratories. It was Jack Parsons Laboratories, right? But now NASA runs it, and it's JPL, Jet Propulsion. Well, see, Jack Parsons is the first person who built rockets, who knew rocket technology. And he got that technology from sex magic. And he would call forth demons, and they would show him how to use the technology to build rockets and so forth. Not just him and L. Ron Hubbard. Does that name ring a bell to you? Have you ever heard of Scientology? Right? Do you know Tom Cruise, John Travolta? Those guys, that religion they pump is from a guy named L. Ron Hubbard, who was an acolyte of Jack Parsons, who was an acolyte of Aleister Crowley. And then we can go down that road, Aleister Crowley, and we can talk about Theosophy Society and that lovely lady, her name, come on, Helena Blavatsky. All of these names that I'm spewing out, you can type in and look it up. And there was a time, right, when you could research this stuff on the internet before they started. Right about the time that the shape of the earth actually started being discussed, right? And that was about 2014, 15, maybe. I learned in 2011 where we live that we don't live on a, but when that started getting discussed, things started getting clamped down. Like the fact that I'll probably get the name of the ritual wrong, that Parsons and Ron Hubbard and a lady went out into the desert in Nevada, performed a ritual with the intent of bringing forth the Antichrist, of impregnating the lady and bringing forth the Antichrist and summoning demons to make this happen. You know what else is in the desert in Nevada out there? The lake where they did this? Yeah, that's right. So they opened up that portal. And Crowley opened up other portals over in Europe. But we won't go into that because it's not important to our story here. What is important to our story here is if you type in Aleister Crowley and type in Lamb, who is the demon he summoned, and look at the picture he drew of that demon. It's an awful lot like your little gray buddies, because that's who it is. It's a demon. But don't believe me. Go look it up. Don't believe anything I say. Don't believe zero, right? Even though this is right here, the things I'm telling you are absolutely true. And you can go research them if you want. And I wished you would. And I wished you would tell your friends and family about it, right? I wished you would tell your friends and family about Operation Paperclip. You can get a book by a lady called Annie Jacobson about Operation Paperclip and how the CIA and NASA were formed by the Nazis that they brought over here, that they put paper clips on their file folders, and they were, let off. They were given another backstory that they didn't actually kill and maim people in the war. They were the good guys. So they came over here to work, right? Like Werner von Braun, right? Like the little Nazi boys who used to scar themselves. I don't remember the whole story of that, but you can type in John F. Kennedy visiting Johnson Space Center and visiting Kennedy Space Center. Well, it was Cape Canaveral, I think back then, in Florida. And you'll see the Nazis that showed Kennedy, well, this rocket we're going to use, and this rocket we're going to use. And yeah, Nazis. Yeah. So I'm not going to go down that road because you're not ready for that. You're not ready for any of this. Most of you aren't close to ready for what I'm telling you right now. And what I'm telling you right now probably get you killed, but I really don't care. All of it's true. All of these people have an agenda to bring about the reign of Lucifer, Satan, the adversary. I call him the adversary. Hasatan. The adversary is basically what Satan means. So what does he want? What does he do? The people who support him and want him in power, they're the ones who are eating the children. They're the ones who are sacrificing children. They hold sacrifices in the abortion clinics. They do, right? They sell the body parts. They've proven that. Go look it up. Go look into any of what I'm telling you, and you'll find it's true. I've been quiet about it for a long, long time. Not being quiet anymore. So what's going to happen? I'm going to ask you all a question. The two people that are out there, I'll ask you the question. Do you trust your government? Type in Y or N. Do you trust your government? Probably not. I don't. And if you don't trust your government to tell you the truth about things, then why would you trust them that the curricula they taught you in school is correct? Why would you trust the science that they tell you? Right. NASA is the only part that doesn't lie. Everybody else lies, not them. Come on. Really? Really? I was born in the early 60s. I was a little kid when the Mercury stuff was going on. Oh, by the way, did you ever notice that all of their programs are named after gods? Not the important God, not this God. Mercury, Apollo, Apollyon. Come on, look it up. It's in the book. Anyway, I was a kid. That stuff, the right stuff, when that movie came out, I saw it in the theater. I love that stuff, man. I worked for the Department of Transportation, and I used to go have a lunch in the NASA building. They had a place called the Shuttle Lounge where you could go have lunch, right? And big pictures of the shuttle. I had pictures of the shuttle on my wall in my office. Broke my heart, man, to find out that that's all. Anyway, that's not why I'm here to talk about. I'm here to tell you that they're going to lie to you again. And this is the big lie. This is the big, big, big one. right? The biggest lie of all is that the military, the government, the agencies that work in the military, all of the branches, the biggest lie of all is that they work for you, that they're there to serve you, that they care about you. They do not care about you. They want to control you. They want to kill you. They want to enslave you. That's why they're there, to make a buck. That hurts, man, because my father worked his whole life. My grandfather worked his whole life. They worked very hard, you know. They worked very hard to make sure that we had a nice place. My father worked very hard. Make sure I had a nice place to live, clothes on my back, food in my belly. I was a spoiled, right? And I treated him with no respect at all because I thought he was ignorant. Why? Because he didn't understand what I understood. Because he never read the things I read. He never learned the things that I learned. I knew about science. He was just a fool. I knew about computers. He didn't know anything about that. But you know what? If somebody needed something or somebody was hurt, my old man was the first person there to help them. I'm sorry, Dad. I love you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get into all this and start going down this road, but you know, testimonials are testimonials, and I will tell you the God's honest truth. I started out after those buildings fell down in New York, 3 buildings, 2 planes, if there were any planes. And the most monitored building on earth with more cameras than any other building on this place had not one image of a plane crashing into it. You figure it out. When they lied about all of that, I was like, there is nothing that they won't lie about. And I started digging. And I started digging and researching whatever I could get my hands on, whatever I could read, whatever I could see and hear. And this is back way early when the internet was wide open and you could actually find information and people sharing things without having to be careful about, you know, the words that they use. You know, free speech, not. And I was an atheist. I was a strict believer in the fact that there was no Jesus, that it was all made up. It was a story that was made up to keep people in line. And not only that, it was actually also a story that was used so people would know when to plant, when things needed to be done. They could tell by the sky, by the astrology of the sky. The story was so they could remember the 12, you know, the 12 months, the 12 disciples. It was astrotheology is what I thought it was. And when I saw it's that horrible ass movie, Zeitgeist. When I saw Zeitgeist, I was like, this is it. This is exactly it. They're exactly right. There's no such thing. Well, when I dug deeper and found a guy named Matt Borland, I don't remember when that was, about 2010, maybe 2011. And I started listening to him talk, and then I started doing research into what he was saying. And there's no curve anywhere. That's when I found out that every word in here is true. Every word in this book is true. And everything they tell you is against this book. Well, this is a Christian nation, huh? No, it's not. Never has been. Never was. Oh, they came here from England because they wanted to worship. Really? Check me if I'm wrong, Scotty, but England was a Christian nation, and you could worship Christ there. So what did they want to worship that they had to leave? The other guy. Bing, 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 bing. Look into the Hellfire Club. Look into Ben Franklin and what they found underneath of his house in England. I think it was in England. It may have been the one in Pennsylvania. Probably both of them. The bodies of children, bones of children. Yeah, Hellfire Club. He was a founding member, I believe. So there's a lot of stories and a lot of stuff. If you're new to all this, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. But the stuff they're getting ready to start trying to show you is a lie. And I don't care what you see come out of the sky, and I don't care what you see come out of the little ships. This war started before we got here. This war started when somebody wanted to overtake the throne. It's all about a kingdom. It's all about challenging that kingdom. And we're in the middle of it. And it's coming to a head here with the things I show you guys every night. Anyway, that's 20 minutes and I don't want to go any longer. Like I tell you every night, but this time you'll see me say it. I love you as Yeshua loves you. And every single word I've told you is true. I love you as he loves you. And believe me, I've lost a lot of friends, a lot of people in my life because of these things that I'm saying. People don't want to be near me. They don't want to walk with me anywhere. People don't like when I start speaking the truth because in a world full of lies, the truth sounds insane. And we live in a world full of lies. Anyway, I'm doing a series here. Every day I've been doing it with the chronological gospel of Jesus, of Yeshua. It's the day-to-day record of his life from the moment he's born to the moment he goes up in the book of Acts, which we're living in today still, the book of Acts. If you want to check it out, it's on my YouTube page. I'm not going to ask you to do that stupid crap that everybody asks. I love you. Please, please, for your sake, for your children's sake, for your family's sake, repent, come home. Right? Not John 3:16, John 3:5. Jesus said, Yeshua said these words, verily, verily, I say unto you, a man not be born of spirit and water, he may not enter the kingdom of heaven. And I don't care what anybody says. Those were his words, which means you got to proclaim that you serve Yeshua. You got to publicly proclaim it, and you have to be baptized. And I'm saying that. It's in that book, and the words are written in red, so it's important. I'm trying to help. I'm just trying to help. Or you can look at me and say he's crazy and off his mind. But I love you. Jesus loves you. Yeshua loves you. Yeshua is the name that Gabriel told his mother Miriam to name him. It means he saves. Anyway, God bless you. I love you. Talk to you again real soon, I hope. It's going to get real interesting in the next couple of weeks.